Okay, welcome to the notes and solutions for day 24 of our GCSE 5 a day. And we start with something a little bit different here. We're looking at the analog clock. And the two things that we need to know here is that we've got these two hands, as they're called on a clock, and the big hand is, so it's longer, is what's measuring our minutes, and our smaller hand is measuring our hours. And we can see that this one is just past 5. So we've got something that's happening past 5 o'clock. And the big hand here is pointing to the 1. So the question is, what is this 1? Now, we should know that we have 60 minutes in 1 hour. So this 60 is split up into 12 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So each one of these divisions is 60 divided by 12, which is 5 minutes. So what we have is that we have 5 past 5. Now, how would we write that? We could also write that as 5:05. Now, I'm sure that some of you will have written this as 05:05 or possibly 17:05. Now, what those are is this is in the 24-hour clock, and so this one here is saying in the morning, so that's 5 o'clock in the morning, and this is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, we don't know that. All we know is that this is 5 past 5. So it's either 5 past 5 or it's 5:05. And the nugget to go and practice here on Century is 37:02. And if you get on all right with that, also try 37:03. Now, we've mentioned before that one of the reasons why we do these 5 a day is to make sure that we don't go into our exam not knowing what some of the key words are in our GCSE maths. And we have a number of different types of angle that we need to know the name of. We have acute angles, which are less than 90 degrees. We have obtuse angles, which are greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. And we have reflex angles, which are greater than 180 degrees. And we have our favorite little right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. And hopefully you can see that what we have here is our obtuse angle. So our answer here is obtuse. And the nugget to go and practice on Century is 26.03. And please go and do that practice. Okay, question 3. Now we're being asked to solve, which means that we need to get to a point where we're saying x equals something or something equals x. But one way or another, we need x on its own. Now our starting point is that we need to know, what does this mean? Well, in algebra, we have no division sign. So the way that we would write x divided by 2 is as x over 2. So our first step to our solution here is to deal with this dividing by 2. Now, our key skill when we solve equations is to retain balance, in that these two sides of the equation are equal. So any operation that we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So our knowledge of inverse operations tells us that the inverse of dividing by 2 is to multiply by 2. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. And that means each part of both sides. So our x divided by 2 multiplied by 2 leaves x on its own. We now need to multiply 3 by 2, which is 6, and we need to multiply 7 by 2, which is 14. Again, retaining balance. The only thing that's stopping our x from being on its own is this minus 6. Our inverse operations tell us that the inverse of subtracting 6 is adding 6, so that's what I'm going to do to both sides. When I do it to the left-hand side, take away 6 plus 6 is nothing, so x is now on its own, and 14 plus 6 is 20. So there is our solution. Please go and try some similar nuggets in 19.08. The mistake that most students make in this question is to fail to multiply the 3 by 2. So we'll often see some x minus 3 equals 14. But when we, in order to keep our balance, doing the same thing to both sides includes each element of both sides. Okay, now we haven't seen my favourite ratio table for a little while. So a 2p coin is 7 grams, and what we're asked to find the weight of is 8. Oh, no, we're not. This is 8 pounds, isn't it? So the first thing we need to do is to make sure that our units are the same. So 8 pounds is 800 pence. So we're being asked for 800. And with our ratio table, our first step is to find out what 1 of something is. So if we know that 2 is 7, then 1 is 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5. So if we want to find out what 800 is, then that is going to be 3.5 times 800. And I think we'll do that on the calculator. 3.5 times 800 is 2,800. Okay, we've got a cheeky little finish here, which is to give your answer in kilograms, because my answer is in grams. Now, again, so we've got a little units overlay here, and 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Actually, I'll tell you what, I should draw another ratio table. So from kilograms to grams, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So this is telling me to go from this direction. I'm multiplying by 1,000, which must mean that if I go the other way, I'm doing the inverse operation, which is dividing by 1,000. I have 2,800 grams here, which I need to convert into kilograms. Let's have a little reminder of dividing by 1,000 without a calculator. So if I'm dividing, my number's getting smaller, so my digit's going to have to move to the right because I'm dividing by 1,000. So I'm going to go 3 places. So my 2 is going to go 1, 2, 3. So that's 2. The decimal point stays where it is. 1, 2, 3, 2.8. So the answer 2.8, mustn't forget my units, 2.8 kg. Now there's quite a bit there to actually go and practice. Nugget 16.01, just using our ratio table. If we've got any issues doing our metric conversion, then 36.02 or 36.07. Okay, and really do make sure that we do go back to Century and practice questions that we've struggled on. Now, question 5 is just the sort of question that that students may have found very daunting when they started their 5 a day, but those who've been doing it every day are starting to master questions like this. So let's see how we did. Find an expression for the perimeter of this shape. Well, we need to be clear that perimeter is the outside. So this is the length going round the outside of our shape. So we need to add these lengths together. And we need to make sure that we include all of the outside. And as you can see, we are missing 2 bits of the outside. So our first exercise has got to be to work out what these missing bits are. So I'm going to do this one first and then this one second. So let's see how we go about this. Now, what I can see here is that the whole of the height of this shape is 3x plus 3. And I can see that this little bit down here is x plus 2. So I'm left here wondering what this bit is. But what I can see is that these two together make this one. So let's have a look. 3x plus 3, take away x, take away 2, because we're subtracting x plus 2 is the same as subtracting x, subtract 2. Okay, our like terms together, 2x plus 1. Okay, we're going to do a similar exercise for b, that we see that our whole distance along the bottom is 3x plus 1. We can see that we've got a little distance there. So what is the rest of this? Well, it's going to be 3x plus 1, take away x, which is 2x plus 1. Oh, so that's also 2x plus 1. That's nice. So I now have all my sides and I just need to add them up. So I'm going to start at this corner here and I'm going to go round clockwise. So 3x plus 3. Okay, so I've included that side, plus x, done that one, plus 2x plus 1, plus 2x plus 1. Those are the ones I've just worked out. So I've done that side, plus x plus 2, and plus 3x plus 1. So I've done all of those, got lots of x's to add up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12x plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 12x plus 8. And to go and practice that on Century, well, we've got to practice working out these missing sides. So that side of it is 30.03, and just doing some work with perimeter there in this type of algebraic context, 17.06. So that's 2 good nuggets for you to go and practice. And even if you didn't get that all right, well done for having a go at that question 5 today. So that's the end of our notes and solutions for day 24. Do keep having a go at your 5 a day and ask your teacher for help.